Hi there Mazda owners. Today in your 2017 Mazda CX-5, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install etrailer's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. The cross tube is hidden completely behind the bumper, but you don't need to remove the fascia to install it, so that's nice. You're only going to see the receiver here at the back. And it does stick out a little bit. It is kind of noticeable because of how far it sticks back, but I don't think it detracts from the looks of the vehicle too much. This hitch uses a 5/8 inch hitch pin and clip. Now, one doesn't come included with the hitch, but we've got plenty available here at eTrailer. We've also got locking ones so you can protect your investments. On bottom, we have hoop style safety chain loops that has a very large opening that should accommodate just about every shape, size, and style of safety chain. You can see our small one here has no problem, and our large one here likewise fits with ease. And this hitch features a 600-pound tongue weight, and that's the force going down on top of the receiver. And that's going to be more than enough for the largest cargo carrier that you can get here at eTrailer, fully loaded up to the maximum. And that's pretty cool because you can really free up a lot of space inside your CX-5 by doing so. It also features a 4,000-pound gross towing capacity, which is the amount that it could pull behind it. And this would be enough if you had a small pop-up camper or a boat or maybe some jet skis you wanted to bring with you, you could do that as well. Now, as always, I recommend that you verify in your vehicle's owner's manual and ensure you don't exceed any of the towing capacities. Now, I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the center of our hitch pin hole to the edge of our rear bumper, it measures about 4 inches. And this is important when determining if any of your accessories will contact the bumper when inserted, and if they can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. And from the ground to the top inside edge of our receiver tube, it measures about 12 3/4 of an inch. And since it is so low on this vehicle, I do recommend that you get a raised shank. Now that we've covered some of the features of our hitch, why don't you follow along with me so you can have the confidence to do it at home. We'll begin our installation here at the back of the vehicle by removing the panel located just underneath the bumper here. There are 2 fasteners that hold it in place, and we'll use a flat-bladed screwdriver or a trim panel tool to remove those. To remove these clips, you'll want to first pop out the center of the clip by sticking your flat-bladed screwdriver or trim panel tool in there, and then you can pull the entire clip out after you've released the locking center. We'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll pull this whole panel down. We will not be reinstalling this. We're just going to set this aside and save it for the customer. Once you've got the clips removed, if we look up in these little slots right here, the openings, you can stick your screwdriver up in there, and you'll want to just kind of pry the little knob there away to pop it out. On the passenger side of the vehicle, you're going to see wire loom here. This has a hose inside that we'll need to get out of our way. So we're just going to take our trim panel tool and we're going to pop this off the side of the frame. And we're also going to pop the one off here at the bottom. It's probably not necessary. We could probably get our hitch in just like this, but it's pretty tight. So just to make sure we don't damage this hose, we're just following it down until we hit the next pin, which is located right here, and we're just going to pop this one out as well. And now we've got plenty of room to be able to pull this out of our way when we go to slide our hitch up in there. And then we'll do the same thing over on the driver's side. There's a wire harness over there. We're going to pop out those same couple of clips. Now we can take our exhaust down and get it out of our way. We're just going to be lowering it down here in the back. But before we do so, we're going to put a strap in place that is going to catch the exhaust so it can't drop down too far and cause any damage. We're just using a strap like this so after we take our attachment points loose, we can lower it down gently. If you need a strap, you can pick up an eTrailer strap here and add it to your cart. We can then remove our hangers here. I sprayed some silicone lubricant on them to ease the removal. And we're just gonna get in there with a pry bar and we can pry these off of here. Sometimes you just gotta find the best angle to pry, or you can, a lot of times, just take a pry mechanism on the back and just push, and you can get them to just pop off of there. Once we've got it removed from our muffler, we want to ensure that it stays on the vehicle side. So we're just going to kind of turn it just like that. We can repeat this on the remaining 3 hangers. There's another one just forward of the one we removed, and then there's 2 on the opposite side in similar locations. Once you have the last one removed, we can just gently lower down our strap here. And you can see we've got a lot more room to work. We could even give ourselves maybe just a little bit more room. But again, we don't want to go too far down. Next, we'll need to remove the tape located on the side of the frame. You'll see there's one here, and this is kind of a wider piece of tape. And then towards the front, there's a black piece of tape as well we'll need to remove. You might also have some undercoating that is located in the way. That's kind of preventing you from getting to that. It's also going to get in the way of raising your hitch up. So we're just going to take our razor knife here and clean off some of this in the way, so that way it doesn't interfere with raising our hitch and so we can access that tape. So now that we've got that scraped away, we can see the piece of tape located right here. You can either just scrape that off. This one is not nearly as important to get it out of the way, so you can even just poke your finger through it. This is our access hole here. So the main thing is that we can get our bolt fed through the hole that's located there. You may or may not have a weld nut located in the rear attachment here in the back. If you do, you'll still need to remove the tape, but you're going to have that weld nut there and you'll use the appropriate hardware there. If we go towards the front some, we're going to see a black piece of tape, and that's located right here. I want to get this one pulled off. There should be weld nuts located behind this one. So we do want to make sure we kind of get the tape out of the way. We don't want that tape getting in there, gumming up our threads, making it difficult on us to get those nuts installed. So we're just going to make sure we get all the tape peeled off around that hole, so that way we know it's not going to interfere with our threads. Tape's not going to cause you to any damage to the threads. It could just make it a lot more difficult to tighten it down, and this is a pretty tight space. So we want to make things as easy on ourselves as we can. Once you've got the hole cleaned up on each of the two on this side, we'll do the same thing with the two holes located on the other side. We can now fish wire our hardware into place. We're going to place the coiled end through the hole on the side and bring it out the hole on the bottom. We'll then take our carriage bolt that comes included with our kit. We're going to slide a spacer over it, and then we're going to thread it onto the coiled end. Once you've got it threaded on, we'll feed the hardware up into the hole. It's easiest done if you do this one at a time. So we'll just slide that spacer off, kind of turn it sideways some to where you can get it to fit. And then we'll follow up with our bolt after that, and then pull it out. Once you've got it pulled out, we're actually just going to drop it right back in. We'll repeat this in the same hole located on the other side of the vehicle. Before we lift our hitch up, we're going to take each of the flat washers that come in our kit. They're going to go on the inside of the frame of our hitch, just to the inside there. We're just running some tape on it to hold it in place. This will make your job a lot easier. We're just going to give it a little cut there. Make sure that it is lined up. And then once you've got it lined up, what I like to do is to just take a screwdriver or something, poke it through the hole to open that up, so that way our hardware will feed through it nice and easy. We're going to repeat this for the remaining holes in our hitch by putting a washer on the inside. And now with the next set of hands, we're going to lift our hitch into position. Make sure to take the coiled end and feed it from the inside out through the corresponding hole. Then just lift your hitch up into position, and then you'll pull your coiled wires until the bolts come back out the hole. You could also thread a weld nut into the frame. We're just looking to get one fastener started on each side to make it easier by holding our hitch up while we're installing the rest of the hardware. For our rearmost attachments, we're going to take a hex head bolt, place a conical tooth washer on it with the teeth facing towards our hitch. We're going to go through both the hitch and the flat washer that we put on, and then thread it into the weld nut right into the frame. Then we'll take our coiled wire off the other bolt on this side. You can just pull that off of there. And then we'll use the flange nut that came included with our kit, and be careful to thread it on there without pushing the bolt back into the frame. In most cases, the weight of the hitch does a pretty good job of keeping it from pushing in. We'll then just repeat this on the other side to get all the hardware started. We can then go back with a 19mm socket and tighten down all of our hardware. We can then go back and torque our hardware to the specifications found in our instructions. We can then reinstall our wiring into the connection points that we had removed. The ones on the side are going to be covered up by the hitch, but they will stay up out of the way. They will be perfectly fine. So we'll just reinsert those bottom ones. We're now going to put our exhaust back on. This is just in reverse order of how we did it. We are going to put some silicone lubricant on there to make them slide on a lot easier. You've sprayed the silicone on there. In most cases, when you go to lift your muffler up, they will slide right on easily by hand, just like that there. So we'll then just repeat this for all the remaining hangers. You can see here the rearmost ones, why we needed them to stay on the vehicle side, because our hitch is so close. We would have never been able to slip it in between this opening, so that's why it had to stay up. We can then take our strap down, and at this point our installation is complete. We're ready to load up our favorite accessories and hit the road. And that completes our installation of eTrailer's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2017 Mazda CX-5.